Hello, Amusement Mark again, and I want to show you how we made the scissors and stuff. The scissors and stuff is going to be our craft area, and so there's some things that you can get ready for. Again, remember, the whole room doesn't have to be like the inside of a store unless you want it to be. We chose the idea of doing the outside of the store. And so we used, again, the trees that we've put in the other park rooms, so that way we're being consistent. But here's some of the things that we did differently on this building. This building is actually constructed out of 3 sheets of blue insulation foam that's used during construction of a home. Now, we chose to just keep the blue because we didn't want to paint the whole house and might as well just use the blue as our color. And so what we did was we trimmed about 2 feet down on these 2 pieces. And then the side pieces we actually trimmed with the slant at the top. And so we went from 8 foot to 6 foot, and that gave us the slope of our roof. And so when we joined them together, we used some Velcro right on the edge, on the seams and on the corners. Now, this Velcro actually comes in a long roll, and you're able to cut it at any length you want. The first time we did it, we tried to use a whole long line, thinking it needed to be really strong. But the truth is you can't get it apart. It's just too much. And so we just used sections about 3 inches all the way down, gapping it about 3 times on the corner or on the seam. Now, whenever you put that together, it'll stick really well. We've tried tape, we've tried different kinds of tapes, we've tried pinning it together with things. Nothing has held better than the Velcro. And this way, it's already in place. When we move this and we can hook it back together, it's very easy. Just be careful when you pull it apart that you don't pull the Velcro off of the foam. It doesn't stick as good as to a flat surface because this is kind of porous. Now, one thing I will say is we used the hot knife, as I introduced in the other scene, to cut out the windows and to cut out the door window as well. Now, when you do that, you just need to place where you're going to put these items and then draw the square, and we just used a piece of poster board, drew around it, cut it out. Same over here, we had a scrap piece of something and we just cut it out. Now, to finish the windows, we actually used some laminating film and we laminated these little squares. But the truth is, that was kind of a hard way to go when you could just run some laminating film and put some white Marvelous tape or other kind of colored tape and make those lines on the back side. And so we did this one by laminating actually pieces, strips of poster board, and this one we did with tape on the back side, and we preferred this one the most. And so I want to give a shout out to my incredible helpers for running these tests and coming up with these ideas, because this is fantastic. Putting the poster board around the edges to trim it really gave a great detail. I think this house could have lots of great details put on it. Maybe some of those garden lattice fences that you could put along the bottom would be cute. The window box was actually just scrap pieces of this blue that we just Velcroed onto there. And then we used some craft paint to paint that and to paint the door. And it's just that acrylic craft paint. And we used a flat brush, foam brush, and painted it up. And we never cut it out. We didn't add anything new. And that acrylic paint sticks to this foam really well. If you try to spray paint it or something, it eats at it, and you're going to have to do something like an acrylic or a latex. So look around. You may have those type of things in your resource room or even in your garage, and you won't have to buy anything. Just put that on there. You'll notice we have a doorknob here. It's really just an aerosol can lid, and we put a skewer through here, and then we used some Velcro sticky dot to put inside here. And you just simply stick it on and stick it on there like that. And that's the doorknob. It's ready to go. We had a little bit of fabric left over from the roof to use as curtains on the inside. So let me talk about the roof for a moment. The roof can be a real problem because you need to get it as straight as possible. So we tested a couple of things. You could pin it to the wall and just drape it down. Well, it makes a big swoop inside where the roof is because the fabric's not stiff. And so what we did was we actually used a board. I think you can see a board. It is just a 1x board that we got at the home improvement store. We put Velcro on each end, and we put an 8-foot board across the front of this and across the back. And that way it gave it a lot of stability in the structure. Then we added a piece of the cardboard single ply that we had left over. We just trimmed off, about a foot of it on one side, because that's as far as we wanted the overhang of the house to be. And now we've got the awning and the roof all in one. And we liked having a pattern on the roof. Now, if you wanted to go through and put like shingles made with construction paper or anything like that, you could. But we kind of like the flair that it made, the excitement. And you want this to be some excitement. And so we have lots of solids. Let's have something with a pattern on the roof. Now, we added the sign by simply putting a piece of Mobilus tape right here for it to sit on, and we used some fishing line at the top to pin it back. We didn't try to use stands or anything, just use the ceiling, just like we did with the trees, so that they're hanging rather than standing. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to get things to stay up that really, if we let them hang, they would look like they're standing up, and it gives the best idea for going the long run. We added the American flag for a great touch, and then we have down here on the porch one of the mats from the Asian theme or from our Outrigger Island theme as well. And so we pulled some things in there, and of course the Scotty dog from Kingdom Capers. We felt like this room needed to showcase our Scotty dog. Now, finally, I want you to see that over here for the open-close sign, we added these scissors. I was able to find these scissors at the hobby store. They're just wooden, and I spray painted them silver. And since this is the scissors and stuff, it seemed like the perfect thing. It wasn't even very expensive. But even if you couldn't find them, I think you could trace them out on poster board, and you can get metallic type of poster board and add that to the sign as well. Well, here you go, scissors and stuff. I think you'll have a great time doing crafts in here.